It seems the time has finally come for Tesla to make an electric VTOL jet. Tesla has just filed paperwork to make a couple of very interesting components. The first one is a trademark for an asynchronous motor not for land vehicles, and it literally says motor for planes. So Tesla is about to make motors for planes now. The second one is a trademark registration for permanent magnet motors, namely for boats, and even electric motors for toys. This is probably going to be used for a Tesla bot, by the way. Currently, Tesla doesn't use any of these categories for any of their products, obviously. And the question is, do we have any precedent for this? How do we know this is for real? Well, I'm going to have Elon explain the idea behind all of this.
I think it's possible to create a much better airplane. I have a design in mind for a vertical takeoff and landing supersonic electric jet.
Gotcha. So it starts to look like a pod craft, like in Oblivion or something.
Right. The real trick of it is, like, how do you make it really long range and at least as safe as existing aircraft? Those are really the only two questions on that front. To have a compelling aircraft, you only really need about 400 watt-hours per kilogram, provided the percentage of cell on the craft, on the aircraft is high. It doesn't need to be anywhere near as high as it is on a rocket, but if it's sort of at the 70% level at 400 watt-hours per kilogram, you can do very decent range.
As you can see, Elon has been trying to make a supersonic electric jet for many years now, but there's one thing that always prevented him to move forward with this project, and that was energy density for lithium batteries. Back in 2019, Matt Joyce made some estimations about this specific topic, and just like Elon, he came to a conclusion that you would need 400 watt-hours per kilogram density to actually be able to make a very compelling electric plane. Now, this plane will probably make transcontinental flights and city flights, but not intercontinental. We wouldn't be able to go from the US to Europe, but we could very well go from the East Coast to the West Coast. Now, at the time, the energy density for a lithium-ion battery was about 250 or 260 watt-hour per kilogram. So Matt estimated that it would take them 9 years, so until 2028, to reach the battery density necessary to make this electric jet be a reality. But there's one event that Matt couldn't have predicted, and that was the 4680 reveal. The 4680 cells catapulted the battery technology to a whole new sphere, and soon I'm gonna show you some stats that are gonna blow your mind. According to a leak that Troy Tesla received last year, the 4680 has a density of 276 watt-hour per kilogram in 2022, and it's gonna reach a density of 333 in 2024, which is a year from now, which means that Tesla is gonna cross that very important target of 350 watt-hour per kilogram in 2025. And while this is not 400 yet, you can start making some prototypes with this for very short flights. For example, you can make flights from Miami to New York, or you can service flights from Vegas to LA. All of this will be possible with a prototype at 350 watt-hour per kilogram. I think this could happen as soon as 2026, so 2 years before Matt Joyce predicted it. And this obviously will be a game changer for airports, because airports are designed for this long driveways that take a lot of space. It will be more of a decentralized airport situation where let you go to a smaller airport, take your flight, 30 minutes, Miami to New York, and the total addressable market for that will be insane. Now, secondly, it will be boats, and I think boats, the market for that could even be bigger than airplanes. I live in Miami and sometimes in Valencia or Barcelona, and the people who have boats, their main complaint and their main cost is obviously maintenance and fuel. So if Tesla can come out with an electric boat that takes care of those two things, I feel like a lot of them will buy that boat. And not just them, but many other people will buy an electric boat. And the funny thing about that is that you don't need any crazy density requirements to make that. You can make it like right now, today. In any case, this is a very interesting development. I'll keep you guys posted if they go ahead and release anything else. But so far, this is the closest indication that we've gotten for Tesla to be serious about making electric planes and electric boats. And the one thing for toys, that's very interesting, because I bet you they're going to use those motors for the bot. The bot is coming, I just don't know when. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, you're probably going to enjoy this one as well. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.